a good warning. We had plenty of warning anyway. They had the warning come across about 9:30, 20 minutes of 10, something in that neighborhood. And it said tornado on the ground by Morris, which is north and west of here, about 12 miles. And so I told Grandma to get your shoes ready and get your purse ready, because she doesn't want to get in the crawl space. It's kind of a, it's not bad, but it's not the best anyway. But, so when the second warning came in about 10 minutes later, we went over in the yellow house in the basement. Mike and Megan Pfeiffer lived there, and they've got a little 9-month-old guy. And
so you ran from here to there?
Yeah, it was raining pretty good. We got in the basement, which, and I kept up and down the stairs watching and watching and watching. And this knucklehead was at the Cubs game. Anyway.
At least they won that.
Yeah, they won that night. But the ironic thing of that is I was watching on the TV. And I don't watch the Cubs, but the only reason I did, because he was up there, and I thought, ah, okay, I'll watch. In the sky, they showed on the TV, from the looking into the sky, it was orangish, yellowish, pinkish. It was a multitude of colors. I'd never seen anything like it in the sky in my life. And he saw it looking south, and I saw the same thing looking north. It's just phenomenal, the colors. It was just, can't explain it. And at the same time, and this was before the warnings ever came out. And anyway, the second warnings went off. We went over, got in the basement, and I was up and down the stairs watching. I was on the fire department and emergency squad here for 20 years, so I've had a little training in looking for this stuff. And the rain almost quit raining, so I was out in the yard maybe 20 feet out from the house, and all of a sudden the air just went dead calm. You could have dropped a feather and it would have gone straight down. And I said, that's it, time to go in. By the time we got, Mike was standing out on the other corner, by the time we got in the house, the wind had started blowing, and the trees were doing a lot of shucking and jiving. We got down in the basement and got Megan and the baby packed in with some cushions, and my wife in on top of them with some more cushions. And about that time, the power went out, and that's when it probably hit these main lines down here a half mile away. And within a matter of 10 to 15 seconds, you could hear glass breaking and trees breaking and trees hitting the house and creaking, and I don't know what else to tell you. Have you guys ever torn a building down yet?
No.
Have any of you?
In past trips.
Well, you're going to get a chance to mess with that one, I guess, over there. And that sounds kind of crazy, but if you're all outside before you take it apart, if you do some pushing on it, you can hear the boards creaking and cracking. That's what it sounds like. And they'll also tell you about hearing the sound of a train. Believe me, it sounds like a train coming right through the house. And all of a sudden, the pressure drops dramatically. Your head will pop, your ears will pop. And you hear all this glass breaking and stuff, and within a matter of 10 to 15 seconds, it's all over. Done. Walked outside. All these poles all the way down this alley. All the poles down Spring Road to the east. And all the poles south. There's deconstruction.
I have a question.
Shoot.
You said right before the tornado came and the air was absolutely still. Once the tornado comes through, what's it like after that?
When I got out of the house, I made sure that we were okay, and we were in fact, I came out in that little porch area. The wind had blown through the north window of that, the north door, and he had like a counter in there with a bunch of stuff on it. That was tipped over in front of the doorway to come up from the basement. So I pushed that out of the way, and it was raining a little bit when I first got out. Within a matter of 15 to 20 seconds, the rain was parallel with the ground. Just, I mean, the wind was probably blowing 50 miles an hour then. And
was there any debris flying as well, or just
the
rain?
debris was pretty much going away from us. So there was some stuff flying around, but not a lot. The main part of the power came back on. Let's see, this happened Monday night, and by Thursday afternoon, most of the power was back on. These poles were the ones that were broken were taken out, and the and new poles set up
Is that where
by
seatbelt?
Thursday morning. They had 2 trucks on every pole. One was digging a hole and the other was setting it up. And they had, I mean, there was nothing. By Thursday,
They
let's
did a
see,
good job though.
Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days they had the poles back up and all the cables strung. And power back on to a lot of people.
Mine took till what, Sunday? Mine almost
Saturday or Sunday, and mine was Saturday and yours was Sunday, I think. We got it hooked up. So, and I did the smart thing. I ran mine underground so it'd be no problem. And I ended up being one of the last ones hooked up. So, yeah, that's the way it goes. But it's an undertaking. I hope none of you ever have to experience. It's the absolutely worst thing I've ever been through since Vietnam, and I hope I don't go through it again. Not fun. You just, one of the things that we did, well, I went on a mission, checking as many neighbors as I could, because that's part of who I am. And whether that was smart or not, I don't know, but there's people needed some help, so I got them some help. And came back and had the 2 kids and grandma and the baby, and we stood at the front door for a minute and talked about the big guy watching over us. And it's pretty important. If you don't believe in it, then maybe you need to think about things, because he has the almighty control over all of us, believe it or not. And you just don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, so make the best of the day and enjoy your friends. And if you have enemies, well, you can tell them how you feel about them, but you don't have to worry about taking their throat out or something, you know. But you have to enjoy that they need to live too, I guess. Sometimes I wonder, but he's got control over us. I guess it's okay. You just have to let your hands go up and let him do what he's got to do. And here, we're all here to talk about it.
Molly, pass it over here.
The great, wonderful thing is, I look around and I got you a wonderful bunch of kids and young ladies around and older guys. And it's awesome. And then I got this character to put up with, and I'm glad I got him too. He's a good lad. One of my adopted sons. And I have 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls, and 12 grandkids. So.
What is that?
It's a tree that
Average,
looks
yeah.
like someone's
Yeah,
garden.
I have one that's got 3, one that's got 2.
Wait, actually, I didn't see it. I
One
didn't
that's
know.
got
I think
4,
we're over here.
another one 3. So.
Somebody was sharing, I don't know who it was, they were sharing their story yesterday.